Capricorn, last but not least of the sign readings this month in January 2025. And then I'm actually going to start recording for February so that they're going to be dropping a little bit earlier next month. Now, as we're diving in, I'm going to be channeling whatever's coming to the surface for January of 2025 Capricorn. Feel free to bring up any questions that you have in the comments section below. And just remember, this platform is for everything energy work, spirit, diving into leadership and business, and building a soul-led business. So stay tuned for more monthly episodes and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, Capricorn, one of the biggest things coming to the surface right now is needing to think before you move forward. Now, there's a very clear energy that not everything in your life kind of hold the emotional intellect in which you can hold in this situation. Now, there's a situation that you are ready to break through, and I can see that this is a cycle in your life. So I want you to think about the cycles that have been playing out in your life, whether that be financial, whether that be relationships, whether that be friendships, underestimating yourself, whatever these cycles are, I want you to think about them. Now, when I'm seeing these cycles playing out, Spirit is showing me you breaking through them. And so January is a month of breaking through. January is a month of shattering the cycles that are no longer serving you and really being willing to realize that it wasn't as hard as maybe you anticipated at one point in the journey. But in you shattering these cycles, what does come to the surface is you're needing to think. Emotional intelligence is needed right now. And there's situations around you where you can be quite responsive. When something triggers you, you are responsive. Now, you don't have to tell me because I'm very much the same. I'm a Taurus. But when I'm looking at the energy, it feels as though your response is not needed right now. And so if there's somebody in your career or in your personal life who is triggering you, I want you to think very, very deeply around, does this need a response? And the answer is no, right? And so whoever it is that's triggering you, family members, friendships, clients, whoever it is, the response is not needed. And the reason the response is not needed is Spirit is showcasing that it's not coming from your highest level of your highest self and your emotional intelligence. And so what's happening is it's a former part of your identity that is being triggered. Now, the reason why Spirit wants you to think very wisely as to how you move forward is Spirit wants you to be in the right energy and it wants you to be in the right frame of mind. And so to be in the right energy and to be in the right frame of mind, you need to think very, very wisely of how am I coming across and how am I approaching the situations around me. And right now, if you move forward and you add fuel to the fire, you are going to be so responsive to the things that you are not liking in your life, but that is only going to have a negative effect. Because then more people are going to view you differently. More people are going to need to weigh up how they feel about the situation. It's just not needed. Sometimes silence is key. And in the situations around you right now, silence is absolutely key. Silence has the ability for somebody to see exactly what you do not tolerate. And so there's a need to be silent so that other people can have that projection and they can need to view themselves and their own energy and their own connection with themselves. What I do feel and what I will say is that there's a major, major need for you to think before you speak and think about the emotional intellect in every single thing that you put out there. So whether this be content on social media, whether it be conversations with friends, family members, business, whatever it is, you need to think about everything. Remember that people can take the words that we put out there and create their own spin on it. And so you want to make sure that you are really coming across with clear communication. You might think you're being understood by your partner, by your family members, by your spouse, by whoever it may be. But right now it feels like you're not being understood to the highest degree. But actually this is because you're not communicating yourself the way that's really needed. And sometimes you're in such a hurry to communicate yourself that you're not actually giving the time to your business, to your career, to your partner, to your children, the way that you think you are. And until you can sit down and communicate and conversate the right way, situations around you aren't going to feel like they're fully serving you. And so right now you need to be thinking very intelligently about, okay, what am I putting into this? Now, if you are a business owner looking at this, I want you to think about your content and where you're missing the mark by just throwing things into fruition rather than, again, thinking about how is this being perceived? What is the energy of this? How is this coming across? How is somebody experiencing this? These are all things that you need to be thinking about to make sure that you're communicated at the level in which you desire. Now, if you're looking at this reading more from a personal avenue of life, I want you to be thinking about, yes, you might be saying, I need this and I want this to your partner, but you're not giving the time to the situation either, and you're not communicating yourself in the right way. And so it might be coming across as anger, or it might be coming across as I'm pushing you away, I'm being protective. But in reality, it's because you're not going deep enough with your own internal feelings and letting other people know what it is that you're feeling. Now, what Spirit is saying is that the right language has the key to level you up. If you are somebody who has a challenging situation right now that is requiring you to stand up for yourself, I want you to remember again, the words are key, whether this be a court case, whether it be a legal battle, I don't know. It's something where you have to stand up for yourself. Could just be with a family member. Your points are all valid, your points get to come across, but it's how those points are coming across. So you need to spend some time sitting in the background, maybe crafting that message, writing it out, thinking about how you're going to share it, getting everything together, and then when you send it, it will hit completely different. And what you want right now is impact, and you want change, and you can change the people around you. What's funny is I did a reading for a different sign this month, and theirs was all about you can't change, but for you, you can change. You can change the people around you. You can make them think differently. You can make them think bigger about the way that they're being and the way that they're responding and the way that they're acting. But if you're going to be that mirror reflection, then you also need to sit there about what are you projecting in and what is the language skills that you are using. There's a lot around words here, and I sense that there's going to be some uncomfortable conversations throughout January because you're balancing out some areas in your life that have got quite tense and quite uncomfortable, and it's time to get a little bit more grounding in them. Conversation of the past. It feels like the past is the past. Like, we can't keep going back to the past, especially if we're going to move forward. And the people in your life, friendships, family, partnerships, relationships, business, whatever it is, they need to see you now moving forward. Now, in order for you to move forward, you are somebody who needs closure. So there's conversations that you need to get off your chest. That is fine. You're allowed to have those conversations. You're allowed to get that closure. But in getting that closure, one thing that's absolutely crucial is, again, someone can only see their behavior. Somebody can only see where they're moving from an alignment when you position it in a certain way. And so how you position it is key. The rapport of how you communicate, and this is a basic skill, especially in NLP. And this was, one of the first things that I learned in NLP is the rapport of how somebody else perceives us. It's absolutely crucial. That is emotional intelligence. And if you have emotional intelligence, you want to make sure that you're being perceived the way that you desire to be perceived. Not from an inauthentic energy, but from an authentic state of I get to be all of me and feel confident in all of me. So closure is key here. Having conversations is key here. But how you have those conversations is absolutely crucial. And so take some time, take some pause. This is a period where you're going to have to sit and you're going to have to think and you're going to have to plan your course of action moving forward. But this is the standard then moving forward. This is how you start to lock in a different level in your life where you feel like you're respected. And this is the thing, respect is one of the key words coming through. You desire to be respected. And the situations playing out right now are the ones that are going to shift you into the deepest state of respect if you play your cards right.